In this question, we're asked to identify the following about this quadratic function. So we need to identify the vertex, the axis of symmetry, the x, and the y-intercept. Let's begin by identifying the vertex. Well, again, that's going to be the result of our horizontal and vertical shift. So x minus 2 means we're going to shift it to the right 2 units, and minus 200, we're going to move it down 200. So there's the vertex. So the answer for A, our vertex, is positive 2, negative 200. For B, the axis of symmetry, well, that's going to be the imaginary line, the imaginary vertical line that cuts this parabola into two equal parts, which has to go through the vertex. So that will be x equals 2, just simply the x coordinate of our vertex. Now, to identify the x-intercepts, I have to solve an equation. I need y to equal to 0. So since for letter C, we have 8 times x minus 2 to the second power minus 200, that's equal to y. I'm just writing the equation backwards. Instead of y equals, I'm writing this and equal it to y. Because since I'm looking for the x-intercept, that's going to occur again when the y value is equal to 0. So I'm going to replace the y value with 0. And having it written like this, it just makes it easier again to solve the equation. We're used to solving equations with our variables being on the left side of the equation. So we're going to start by using inverse operation. So we'll start by adding 200 to both sides. So if I add 200 to this side, add 200 to this side, we end up with the following. We're going to divide by 8. Which is 25. And now we can get rid of the square, so we're going to take the square roots to both sides. And x minus 2 will equal to 5. The square root of 25 is 5. Now we have to consider both possibilities of both having a positive and a negative 5. Now finally we can get rid of the 2. We can add 2 to both sides. And here are the x-intercepts. There's two possibilities. The first possibility, when x is positive 5, plus 2, that gives us 7. And the second possibility is when x is negative 5, or I'm sorry, when the square root of 25 is negative 5, and negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. So our intercepts will be 7, 0, and negative 3, 0. Now for the y-intercept, that's going to occur when x is equal to 0 instead of y. So we're now looking for the y value when x is 0. So that just simply requires us to substitute in the number 0 in for x, which is the equivalency of evaluating this function at 0, identifying what the output value would be when I plug in 0. So following the order of operations, so we're not undoing the order of operations, we're following the order of operations. So here I would start by first subtracting these two numbers. Second thing is the exponent, so negative 2 has to be raised to the second power. Now I can multiply that value with 8. And finally subtract that answer of 32 by 200 and get a total of negative 168. So our y-intercept is that. So here are our solutions. Let me box in our solutions.